Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tech Sharmit podcast. Today I'm joined by a distinguished guest, Uma Shankar Arora, who is joining us from Bharat itself. Uma is a chief growth officer, a digital transformation leader with over 25 plus years of experience and a seasoned technology strategist. Other than that, he has spent decades helping organization redesigning their digital foundation, build scalable operation, and integrate technology in a ways that deliver real measurable business outcome, and all while pursuing his passion for the wildlife photography. So, today in this episode, we will explore his journey beyond job titles and achievements, and we will also discuss some of his most heart stopping experience capturing the wildlife in and around Jaipur. But before we begin with all of these, I would like to thank Uma for joining us today in this episode. And now I request you to please initiate the discussion by telling us a bit about yourself.
Hi, Amit. Thank you for hosting me, and really, it's my pleasure to be here. And thanks to your audience that we are talking here today. I'm really honored with that. So, about my experience, with 25 years of experience, I have worked with various organizations, including like Oracle, Siemens, and few years in UK. And in 2008, I came back to India for my father's health, and since then I'm in Jaipur. I have worked with renowned companies in Jaipur like Metacube, Renosys, MTX, and then I had my own small startup, 7X. Recently, I took an exit from there and joined Zordil as Chief Growth Officer. So in my whole journey, I have played a lot of roles, right from developer to product manager, technical architect, VP of engineering, various things I have done in the delivery side, talking to customers on the technical front. But this is my first role where I decided that, okay, now I need to see how we can scale the business, not the technology. So when I joined Jordial, I thought of a new role that could actually help an organization to scale in the business side. So my this role as a chief growth officer is all about looking around sales and marketing part, along with the building of new practices in Jordial. So that's about myself in my technical world as a technical journey.
Okay.
And along with that, you already talked about wildlife. So yeah, I do a bit of wildlife photography near Jaipur and little bit outside of Jaipur I've done. So that's my passion that I follow along with technology.
It's good to know, like, not only the technical field, but you are also exploring the wildlife photography field. And um, this shows, like, why people call you a multi-talented guy. And you know what, in this industry, in especially in IT industry, people know you as a chief growth officer and a tech expert. But Uma, like, if you had to describe your journey beyond those titles and achievements, how would you describe the person Uma Shankar Arora?
So first thing I would say that staying authentic is my first priority in my life.
Okay.
And when I say authentic, that means I try to deliver what I commit for.
Mm-hmm.
I do whatever it takes from me to deliver what I promised, whether it is on the technology front or on the personal front. So that is one thing. The other thing is I still love technology. So I know that how to groom the technical talent. So I do sit with them. I work on some technical problems. Nowadays, not daily basis because my focus has shifted towards the business side.
Business side.
But I still love, yeah, I still love sitting with technical team to do the discussion around technology. The other thing I always try to explore new fronts. Like I have been working on a lot of AI initiatives that we are working inside Jordan. Plus, at a personal level, I keep on exploring technology. So that is another aspect. Like daily, or on the weekly basis, I have allocated few hours to learn new things. So that is there. On the other side, like at personal, if you ask me, I have a family where my daughter is doing MBA, my son is in ninth standard, my wife and mother is are there in my family. So spending time with family is also one of the key thing
Yes.
that I've always tried to balance my work-life balance. We call work-life balance all the time, but I think in the circle around, I see myself as a true person on that. I spend daily. It's my commitment to my family that first 1 hour of my day will be with them. So at least 1.5 hour of my tea break in the morning with my mother and wife and family is there. So that's how I balance.
That's great. Like, I think this thing also be a very helpful and resonating with the other audience, because if someone, especially those who are working in IT industry, so they will understand the importance of the family time, and they will also try to follow the similar kind of rule in order to stay with their family and also enjoying their work along with the passion, like the wildlife photography. So you know how to manage the time in a better way, and that is the outcome that we all know. All right. So, Uma, like you, when we were doing the research on your profile, we found that you often say that growth isn't an accident; it's a design. So, can you please explain this thing in a very simple way? Just break down a repeatable, step-by-step system anyone can use to design their own career growth. Because nowadays, you frequently also interact with the students and discuss the same thing. So, just explain it again for the audience, like who are also interested into pursuing the similar kind of path that you follow in order to get the better growth.
Okay. So let's start with the student life only. What the
Yeah.
student today I see that they should do. So definitely you see that technology is changing very fast, right? So we see that if you are not up to date, you will be left out. And that has happened with me a couple of times in my career also,
Mm-hmm.
where I was involved in big projects. Day to day, I was consumed in them and I was not upgrading myself. And I found that, oh, people have left me behind and they are moving ahead. So that's why I then started focusing on a structured pattern. And for me, that structured pattern was different. I'll first come to the student part, let's say. So for a
Mm-hmm.
student, I would say that learning technology is fine. But what I see, the most important thing that students are not paying attention is the communication part. And
Okay.
I advocate communication a lot. In fact, if I talk about all my sessions with the students
Mm-hmm.
or at the developer events, my first thing is become a consultant.
Okay.
Try to communicate more. Consultant doesn't mean you are always giving technical solutions.
Mm-hmm.
Consultant even mean that you understand what is the problem better than your customer first. Go at
Right.
that level and then define the solutions. So for a student, I see the lack of attention to their communication skills.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand that only technology will not drive your future. You
Correct.
need to understand that how your customers want to talk to you, what
Mm.
they pursue about you, right? So that is very deep. And communication doesn't come as like, okay, we can talk 10 sentences in English when we are
Mm.
in a meeting. That is not the communication.
Correct.
Communication is looking at customer's face itself. You should be able to recognize what pain he is having when he is
Correct.
talking about certain problem and give the pointed solution. So that is one thing that I advocate a lot about communication. In one in Zordil or in my previous organization, I used to take communication classes as well.
Okay.
And very fundamental things I used to I give them, like how to read the book, how to write something, how to evaluate yourself, that are you communicating well or not,
Okay.
and then talk to people how you should talk. So everything comes in that communication,
Hmm.
right? So that is very important. So that's how you design your growth, because growth is not your only financial gain that you are doing. The focus of
Yes.
this generation is my package is 20 lakhs, and next time when I give the interview, I should get 30 lakhs.
Right.
Now they are not looking around that, okay, if I'm getting 22 lakhs in new organization, am I getting a right role or not?
Right.
Right? Am I going to get the exposure to right technology set that I love or not?
Hmm.
So that's why I say that growth is by design. So when you talk to the future uh, companies, or in fact in your company, why I should say that you are looking for a job. In the organizations also, always there are a lot of opportunities. Even Jordan, we have a lot of opportunities. I keep on talking with my team member. The purpose is you scale up, and if you scale up properly, your organization will scale up properly.
Agree.
So you scale up in your technology stack, you scale up in your presence with the customer. So you design the growth in that aspect. That's why I say it is not an accident, it is by design. When
Hmm.
you are going for your growth, your organization will grow. That is my philosophy, right? If a
Right.
team below me is growing, then only I can grow.
Correct.
If a team below me is not growing, then how can I grow? Because everything is coming on me. So
Hmm.
often we see that leader is the one whose team is actually performing the same way in his absence also,
Correct.
right? So that so design your journey like that. Now, if you say when I'm talking to customer on the growth side, I always talk to customer and say that what are the fundamental problems they are facing in the business. So sometime it has happened that a customer comes and say that, okay, Uma, we want to implement CRM. And that's
Mhm.
fine. You want to implement CRM, you want to manage your leads, you want to manage your opportunities, right? But when I sit with them, I would put a blueprint which says that, okay, CRM is one part, but what is the goal that you are trying to achieve?
Right.
Your growth is not implementing any digital transformation until you put the goal in front of you related to your business aspirations. If you
Hmm.
don't have that, you cannot grow. You will
Agree.
just keep on doing those things which are not aligned to that. So that's why I say growth when you want to do in business also, when you do want to grow, the science is work on your fundamentals, not
Correct.
work on the market buzz. I try to work on the very fundamental things. So that's my philosophy.
Yeah, I think I'm also agree with all these points which you just shared, and I think three key point anyone can remember so that they can succeed in as a student and also as a professional. One is communication skill for sure, like it is going to play a vital role in your journey, and the second thing is knowing the fundamentals, and also you should be good in knowledge gathering and knowledge understanding. Like you should know like what is the requirement, the exact requirement of your client, that for which you are going to build the solution, because if you know about the exact requirement, then things would be much more easier for you to explain it to your team and to deliver the things that they are expecting. So these are some great advice that anyone can follow in order to succeed in their journey. All right. So now, Uma, we will talk about bit about your experience with digital transformation, because you have led the digital transformation for more than 25 years now. So what do you think? Like, what has fundamentally changed and what has not changed fundamentally in how company approach the digital modernization? So if we particularly talk about digital modernization, that what thing has changed and what has not with your so far experience in this domain?
Right. So fundamentally, what has not changed? I would say that still we are working little bit on silos in a lot of cases.
Okay.
So for an example, still the bigger organization, they are pursuing like bit on silos. ERP is implemented in one way, CRM is implemented in another way. Maybe ERP is used at some platform, and CRM is used in some different platform, is done in different platforms. So that silo is still there. And if you talk about bigger digital transformation, the challenges will be like teams are scattered also. They are working little bit on silo because the department heads are separate and there are a little bit of disconnect somewhere where you find, right? So that is still happening, which is not that much, but still there are. I would give you one example in that case,
Okay.
how it should be, because I have experienced that in one case. I was in UK in 2007-8, and we were working for one of our clients, Specsavers. So their
Okay.
fundamental was totally simple fundamental. Everyone is in-house, right? So they had an IT building. They are into spectacles, but their
Hmm.
IT department in one buildings. Everyone sitting in that one building, and it was easy for decision makers to see that how to transform their business using digital transformation.
Correct.
Now we see that if you go at bigger enterprises, still that is not happening. So that becomes a bit of challenge in that case. Now, what is changing is that yes, being online, it becomes easy if you collaborate properly.
Properly. Yeah.
I'm talking about collaboration not in the team. I'm talking about collaboration outside the teams, between the teams, right?
Hmm.
So ERP and CRM teams communicate properly. That challenge can be reduced. So, so that is very important, that that is happening, but still that needs even more refinement at an enterprise level.
Hmm.
The other thing what is changing is the importance of data. Previously, we were seeing that data was scattered, but it was fine because those systems were operating in silos.
Hmm.
Now, the need of R is that system doesn't operate in silos. System needs to operate in harmony with each other, right? So that means
Correct.
the communication between the systems on the data side is to be very strong. So that designing of strategy is happening at certain level nowadays. That okay, if we are going to introduce a new system along with what we are having right now,
Hmm.
let us first take a decision that what kind of data we are gathering, how we are gathering, and what is the source of truth for my data. In
Hmm. Right.
last 5 7 years, I've seen that companies has started looking at that angle very seriously. So every company who wants to do digital transformation at a bigger level, they are having couple of systems already in place. They're taking very serious steps on digital transformation along with their data strategy. So that has already started happening in last 2 3 years. And
Okay.
with AI, it has been accelerated. Everyone has started saying one thing: AI is nothing without your data,
Hmm. Right.
right? So that's happening, right? So that is what the transition has happened. So system integration at the enterprise level is totally dependent on data and source of truth, so that companies have started paying attention. So if you are designing any system today, you need to see that what kind of data strategy companies opting. Where are they putting their data? What is the source of truth? And if source of truth are multiple, then it's going to be a challenging situation as the AI evolves, because AI will perform only if your data is aligned.
Right. It is totally depend on the data. So if it is not fitted with the right data, you will not get the desired output.
Right.
Okay. And like you are currently working as a chief growth officer, and what I know, what I believe, like usually people get confused between this role with the traditional sales and marketing leader. So, in your
Right.
opinion, like how does the role of chief growth officer is completely different from the traditional sales and marketing leader? So, how will you describe it?
So to be honest, this is first time which I'm playing the role. So mm, being in a startup, I can define what I want to do
Okay.
for the growth of the organization, right? So
Right.
basically, when I started discussion with leadership in Zodel, I said that okay, uh, the strategy that we need to opt so that we can go from 100 to 500.
Mm-hmm.
We need to work on that. And
Okay.
that's what I am supposed to do. And that's what my role here is, that, okay, what all we need to do so that we can grow in proportionate from revenue perspective as well as from the organization strength perspective. And it includes digital, it includes marketing, it includes direct sales that I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
and it includes looking around new things that are coming in market and building practices around that. So I may not be fully focused on building the practices, but I'm definitely focused on deciding which practice we need to follow, which practice we need to build. So
Hmm.
practice in the sense on what technology, how we need to define that we are going to work. So for an example, if I want to grow a practice around AWS,
Yeah.
and we may not be working on that. So what will be my go-to-market strategy? How we are going to hire the team? How we are going to train the team? How we are going to build the team? What will be strategy around that? So that is what I need to focus on, along with some part of sales I'm doing, where directly what we are able to deliver right now. So
Mm-hmm.
we I take care of that. And then other than that, we need to do proper marketing so that instead of going as an unknown face, wherever we go, we should be a known face. So that's what I'm designing right now. So
Okay.
these all three combinations. So that's why I said that, okay, let's look at from growth perspective, and we decided to give my title as a chief growth officer.
All right. All right. So now you can see, we discuss about your journey, your initial days, and your current role, along with the other roles through which you are contributing for this industry. Now, I think this is the right time to discuss about your passion also, because you are well versed with the photography. So Uma, wildlife photography looks peaceful, right? Especially on Instagram and social media platform, but the ground reality is completely different, right? So, in your opinion, what's the most heart-stopping moment you have experienced while photographing wildlife in Jaipur, or maybe around the Jaipur? So, what was that moment?
That's great. So always happy to talk about those moments. So I'll give one moment. Uh, in 2017,
Okay.
flamingo is my favorite bird, and in Jaipur outskirts, there are two places like Chandalai Lake and
Chandra.
Barkera Lake in Shivdaspura, right? So that is the place where I used to spend my most of the evenings, right?
Okay.
So every weekend I used to be there, and that was one of the Sunday in June or July, I think, when we went to photograph. So a couple of friends were there,
Mm-hmm.
and my mentor Kishan Meena ji was were there. He was sitting in a field, and we talked, and he said that, Uma, come here. We have a lot of flamingos around,
Okay.
and you will not believe, like approximately 250 meters with a camera and heavy lens in our hands. It was
Mm-hmm.
like 5 kg or 6 kg of weight on the camera and lens combined. And we crawled on our elbows and knees of 250 meters in the fields where it was thrown at a few places, pebbles which are hurting, right? But we were crawling, and we were like, at the end, it was luckily not bleeding, but it was the situation like if we would have crawled more, then it would have been bleeding
Oh,
also.
yeah.
But when we reached at the place where the flamingos were there, because we had to keep ourselves near the ground level.
Hmm.
So
Right.
there is a tendency of these kind of birds. If they see something coming which is above their height, they will get
Yeah.
scared,
Right.
and they will fly. So we were so close. It was like less than 100 meter. They were in our vicinity. Like 150 flamingos were there, and we were clicking them. So that was heart-stopping moment for us. Similar moment was there in 2020 in this Sambar Lake.
Okay.
So there also, I had an encounter of flamingos within a vicinity of 50 meters. And same thing, like for around 100 meters, we crawled for 30 minutes and had lied down on the sand over there for 2 hours, and we clicked lot of photographs of the flamingos that time.
Okay. So I think now everyone will agree that it looks very simple and very fascinating, but actually, like you have to do so many things to get, especially in terms of birds, right? Because if we are talking about the big cats, they are somewhere familiar, although that there is also a risk. But when you are talking about the birds, like there you have to make sure that they will not get distracted, otherwise you will lose the chance, and before you click something, like they will run away. So I think now it's quite clear to everyone, and especially those who are interested into wildlife photography, so they can interact with Uma and for seeking the guidance, and so that he will provide you the required knowledge when you are going to shoot your first bird or maybe the animal, so it will be helpful for you. And if we like if we particularly talk about the vision for the wildlife, so like suppose you had the unlimited resources and absolutely all the authority that we need, so what is the first wildlife environmental reform you would plan to implement across the India, and how like you will plan these things as per your vision?
So I think wildlife is a secondary part. The primary part is environmental awareness,
Environmental.
right? Yeah. So looking at the pictures of wildlife is like fun. Taking those pictures is fun. You will go there, take pictures, and enjoy. But the awareness is still not there at grassroots level,
Correct.
right? So first thing I would suggest is like people should be aware about environmental things,
Mm-hmm.
how these things are important in your life cycle, right? So the God has made these creatures and ourselves so that there is a balance.
Right.
If there is a tiger in the forest, there needs to be some deers,
Right.
right? If there is a vegetation, there needs to be some animals to consume those vegetations. Otherwise, they will expand, right?
Right.
But we are not paying attention to that, right? So that education is required at a global level, at an India level.
Hmm.
Taking care of things which we do not do in our vicinity is also one of the uh, thing that we should do. Like we have parks in cities, but they are not maintained. They are not taken care.
Right.
So the youth doesn't understand the value of greenery, the value of these creatures. They don't understand that how they are going to impact their future after 20 years, after 50 years, right? You might have seen incident where tigers are coming out of the forest and uh, eating
Yes.
even human beings, right? Recently in
Correct.
Ranthambore area, you have heard this. But the reason is that tigers' growth has started growing fast in that area because of taking care of that. At the same time, we are encroaching the forest at a faster pace in those areas because we are building a lot of resorts and people are coming and staying over there. So that imbalance is happening everywhere. So that is very important thing that if you want to grow the uh, country, then you need to understand that these things should be secured properly. It should
Yes.
not go as a tourist place also. At some places, we should avoid the tourism on the ground level. So I will give you one example. In, and people who are doing birding are actually very cautious about those things. So I'll give you one example.
Mm-hmm.
Across globe, I've seen lot of birding people who may have clicked their photographs of very rare birds, but they do not give you the locations.
Okay.
It's not
Yeah.
because they are selfish that only they should take that photograph, because they are aware that as soon as people come to know that there are rare birds in that area,
They will ruin the
There
place.
will be lot of photographers who are just going there for the sake of photography,
Correct.
right? So that awareness, that education need to happen at the ground level.
Yeah, and that is also like you just mentioned that we often see, especially in Jaipur, like in nowadays also like around 2 to 3 leopards are roaming around the city, and we read some news also that one of the leopard was killed by the villagers because of the human conflict. But I think when we plan everything in a well mannered way, so things will we can see, we can expect a better outcomes, because we have that safari, whether it's a Jhalane safari and other safari, so they are doing their work. So if what we can do best, like if we got such kind of information, so we can inform them that yes, there are some leopards roaming around, so they can take their actions and they can help, so that there would not be any kind of conflict. And one thing
Right.
just you mentioned that if you know that there is a particular place where the birds are there, so just try to avoid and maintain the proper distance, so that they can also enjoy their time, and you will not create any disturbance for them. So that is the best thing any photographer, or maybe as a human being, we all can follow, just to skip those kind of places to roam around. All right. So Uma, like although like there are so many things that we can discuss on wildlife photography as well as technical thing, but we are short on time. So I just want to ask one more question. So like you are from Jaipur. In fact, I am also from the Jaipur. So what one thing about Jaipur ecosystem, maybe the creativity, culture, or natural, that the global tech world has not fully recognized yet. So in your opinion, what one thing about Jaipur you would like to share with the global audience?
I think if you talk about tech, right now we are exploring Salesforce ecosystem very well,
Right,
right? Uh, but Jaipur is like two-tier city, right? Second tier, and it's very close to Gurgaon.
right.
And still, we don't see a lot of good companies coming here. Maybe due to certain reasons of the benefits that government should give, they are not
Mm,
getting, or maybe they have assumption that there are not good talent. But I would say that there are a good number of talent that can help bigger companies to come here and expand, because talent are also not as costly as they are in Bangalore or bigger cities like that, right?
right.
So still there is a lot of potential in Jaipur ecosystem where companies can rely on for the growth path. That is one thing on the technical side. On the cultural or on the other part, I think I love Jaipur culture,
Mm,
right? I would say it's a real good mix of metro city culture as well as the grassroots level, our authentic culture of the village or city kind of thing,
right.
right? There are a lot of things are there, and people are enjoying that very well. But
Mm,
the thing that I would say is still there are things that can be done which can promote Jaipur as even much better tourism place, which is not happening. I would say it is known as the part of Golden Triangle. People, lot of tourists are visiting here,
yes.
but still there is lot of potential that government should recognize and try to work on that, which is not happening. It happens, but the speed is very slow, I would say. And
Hmm.
sometimes when the speed is slow, that doesn't give that impact. So for
Yes.
an example, if you say that, okay, there is a place which we are cleaning up, we are making sure that tourists visit, but that propagation from government, marketing, or you can say forefronting from government side needs to happen very fast.
Okay. Okay. So before we wind up this discussion, I just want to know about all those key person in your life who have influenced your journey so far. So because we believe that everyone has their key person in their journey who influence and inspired their journey, right? So in your case, like who were those key persons?
So inspiration point of view, I would start with CEO of my first company, Shilpa Vyapari. So it
Okay.
was a very small startup in Indica Software. And when I joined that company, like same as today's youngster, I was also a youngster at that time and not very serious about career growth, right? Just enjoying the job and that. But I saw that what dedication means.
Hmm.
So that was my inspiration of hard work, and I started working hard from that place. Right? If you are in a job, what is the responsibility that you need to take care?
Correct.
And you will be surprised that when after 1 year when I was there, I was leading a team of 17 people where people having 5 years of experience were reporting to me. 7 years of experience were reporting to me at that time.
Okay.
Right. So that was my inspiration because I saw that hard work in IT, experience in numbers doesn't matter.
Correct.
It matters with your attitude, what you are doing. Another key person was my tech lead in Oracle. He
Hmm.
told me that how to gain the visibility in the organizations and what it requires. Like when I was in Oracle, I was just an application engineer, but my visibility was up to the EVP level that was reporting to Larry Ellison, Ron Wolf. So how to work in a fashion that you are known to six ladders up in your hierarchy.
Hmm.
What
Right.
could make that impact? So he was the person. He's right now in ServiceNow in US. I met recently him, Ratna Prabodh Amle. So that was my another inspiration. Right. So third, I won't say that as an inspiration, but as really a mentor because he taught me how to build the practices, how to lead the growth, right? So he is my ex-CEO, Rameswar Vyas from Renosys. So I got a lot of mentoring from him on building the organization, building the process, building the practices, and also how to discuss with client what are the things that any organization should keep in mind if they are planning for growth. So that was a great journey with him. These are the three main people in my career. There are many, but I would consider them as top three contributor in my journey, and that is where I am today because of them.
Yeah, and like it's good to know like how you still connected with your ex-employers and how they have influenced your journey. Because nowadays everyone is focusing they are more focused on switching the job, and they are not in touch with their previous employers or preferred employer. But I think expert like you, if they gave the preference to those person with whom we have once worked, right? So I think that is also a great learning from for everyone like who are into the IT industry. Stay connected with your previous employees, because we all know that somewhere we all have learned from each other. So it's time to embrace
Right.
that thing. And
Perfect. Yes.
yeah. All right. So yeah, thank you so much, Oma, for joining us today in this episode and for sharing about your journey, and also for sharing those moments that comes from your photography experience. It was really very inspiring and exciting thing to know about your journey, and both in tech terms as well as the photography or the passion wise. So it was really great discussion with you. Thank you once again for being a part of the show.
Thank you, Amit, and thanks to the audience for the Tech Summit channel. And I'm really privileged and happy to interact with you and your audience. Thanks again.
Thank you.